Hello everyone, welcome to the Cup Show. In today's video, we will be talking about an interesting topic. What's next if the US isn't the world's top dog? Let's explore who are the top contenders for the title of global superpower. So without wasting time, let's dive in. So what exactly is a superpower? Historically, we are talking about a nation with the kind of influence that shapes the global politics, economics, and culture. Think US in the 20th century or Soviet Union during the Cold War. To be a superpower, you need more than just muscle. You need a full set of tools in your geopolitical toolbox. However, the economy and the military are the basic ingredients for becoming a superpower. First up, economics. The superpower economy isn't just big, it's influential. It sets standards for trade, finance, and technology. The US has the dollar, which is world's reserve currency, but also Silicon Valley, Wall Street, and Hollywood. To become a superpower, you have got to have a robust and innovative economy that others depend on or want to replicate. Military might is non-negotiable. I'm not just talking about having an army which is non-expeditionary and just for defensive purpose. I mean global reach, nuclear capability, cyber warfare, and the ability to project power anywhere, and this is possible only with robust supply chain, manufacturing, and innovations. The US has naval fleets that span oceans and a significant presence in space. A superpower must be a military leader, not just in size but in technology and strategy. Politically, a superpower influences global policies, leads international organizations, and has allies worldwide. It's about soft power, diplomacy, cultural influence, and the ability to shape global narratives. The US has NATO, the IMF, and its cultural exports like movies and music. But remember, this power comes from being a beacon of certain values or ideologies. And this doesn't happen overnight. It takes decades of patience and consistency. Culture is your stealth weapon. It's about your language becoming common, your entertainment dominating screens, and your innovation setting the pace. American culture from jazz to Apple has global sway. A superpower's culture should be so appealing or influential that it shapes global trends. Alright, now let's see who is in the running if the US step back. Here's the top contenders based on where they stand historically and currently. So number one is of course China. China is the heavy hitter. Economically, it's been on a meteoric rise with a GDP of around $18 trillion in nominal term by late 2024. It's not just about manufacturing anymore. China's pushing hard into tech, AI, and green energy. But there are hurdles: demographic aging, debt, and international relations, especially with the US. By the way, don't you think that the superpower should be more fluid and open to new ideas like the US is? Can China really replicate that arc? Think about it. A lot of innovations and ideas in the US came from outside over the period of time. Militarily, China is not playing. By some reports, its navy is already the world's largest by number of ships and has ambitions in space. Taiwan and the South China Sea are flashpoints, though potentially sparking conflicts. China's military growth is impressive but comes with the risk of overreach and provocations. To be fair, China doesn't have real allies like the US has. It means China will have to do everything by its own. Culturally, China's influence is growing. From TikTok to films, there's a push to spread Chinese culture, yet political systems and human rights concerns often clash with global values, affecting its soft power. Still, through initiatives like the Belt and Road, China is shaping global infrastructure. China has massive influence in African and ASEAN countries. Now, coming to number two, I know many people have weird opinion about this country, but whatever your opinion you have, you can't ignore this country. And the country is India. India is the underdog with potential. It's now the world's most populous country with a young workforce that could drive decades of growth. However, country has massive skill deficit, which needs to be fixed as soon as possible. The economy has been growing at rates about 6% annually, which is good in today's time, with ambitions to become a 5 trillion economy, which ultimately it will happen. But challenges like infrastructure, education, and bureaucracy loom large. India is a typical developing country but has a massive potential to grow. India's military is on an upward trajectory, modernizing with an eye of self-reliance in defense, but in reality facing big hurdles which are pretty much because of its low-performing bureaucracy. It's a nuclear power with a regional influence, but tensions with neighbors like Pakistan and China are constant. However, lately things are looking good with China. Yet, through international partnerships like the Quad, India's strategic importance is undeniable. Culturally, India's ancient heritage meets modern innovation. Bollywood, yoga, and tech startups are making waves globally. India's soft power is in its diversity and its potential to lead in the global south, particularly through platforms like the G20. However, India's image has been recently destroyed by the Western media, and India isn't able to do much about it because India is really bad with storytelling and building narratives. Now, coming to third country, which is not really a country but a cluster of countries which are pretty much on decline, but I have included them. Yeah, you have guessed it. It's EU, European Union. The EU is a unique case. It's not a country but a bloc with superpower potential, but maybe not anymore. Economically, it's a juggernaut with a GDP around $17 trillion in 2024, rivaling the US and China. However, the challenge is unity. Brexit, differing national interests, and economic disparities can be obstacle. Military-wise, the EU has NATO, but defense is still largely national. There's a talk of a European Defense Union, but progress is very slow. Still, the EU has significant influence in global peacekeeping and humanitarian efforts, though it lacks the unified military projection of a traditional superpower. And Russia is making sure that EU is completely out of the race of superpowers. We all know what's happening. But culturally, the EU's impact is profound. From art to tech, Europe has shaped much of the modern culture. However, the diversity within EU means a unified cultural narrative is challenging, though not impossible, with shared European values and histories. Now, these were the three contenders for future superpowers, that is China, India, and EU. But let's not overlook other players like Russia, Brazil, and Indonesia, each with their own strength and have ability to influence the global politics and economics in their own ways, but they also have significant challenges. With the nuclear might and energy resources, Russia has power but is limited by economic sanctions and demographic issues. Its influence is more about disruption than leadership. Brazil has potential with its resources and population, but political instability and inequality are significant hurdles. Its influence is largely regional but could grow with stability. Indonesia's demographic and economic growth are impressive, but governance and infrastructure needs vast improvements. Its cultural diversity could be a soft power asset if harnessed effectively. So coming back to the question, who will be the superpower if the US declines? Here's the kicker. If the US declines, we might not see a single new superpower, but a multipolar world where these nations, along with others, share power. It's about balance of economic, military, political, and cultural powerhouses. Each contender has its unique path filled with potential, but also pitfalls. And there you have it, a look at who could step up as the US steps back. It's a complex, evolving scenario, and only time will tell how it unfolds. If you found this analysis insightful, give this video a like, subscribe for more geopolitical insights, and join the conversation in comments. Keep questioning, keep learning, and until next time, stay sharp on global shifts. Peace out.